Yeah, I'm the most picky about car wash. When I move places, like the first thing I do is go look for car washes and I will go try them all.
Brooke is your best and worst customer all wrapped into one.
Yeah. Welcome back, my friends. We are here with Dan again, and Dan has agreed to share a bonus episode with us. So, for those of you that listen regularly, you guys know the deal on the bonus episodes. For those of you that are new, we give every guest the opportunity to stick around for a short bonus episode where we take a deep dive into a specific case study or a specific real estate story. So, today on the RE Junkies podcast, Dan, you've got three options, and we'll let you pick one. So, number one is what was your hardest deal or a horror story? Number two, what was your most successful deal? And three, what is the craziest story you have in real estate? Which one are you picking?
I'll pick the success. I'll
All right.
go with the car wash. The things we've done there to make it even more successful than we thought it would be.
Yes, let's dive in.
So when we first bought this business, we saw the basic improvements like more marketing, improving Google My Business, things like that, which I think that in general created more traffic. Like our Google My Business, when we first took it over, had 5,000 views a month. We got it up to 30,000 a month.
Wow.
Part of that was doing everybody on their phone, they search car wash near me. We figured out, we put all those keywords in, found what people were searching. So making sure that we showed up when people put that in their phone, updating the pictures, like getting drone shots and good pictures of it at night, creating a website, those types of things. So that in itself created a picture. And as well, I think I said on the podcast, we put a new sign up, or like basically rewrap the sign so it stuck out a little bit better. So that was one of the first improvements. The next thing we did, going back off of that, with the car washes, we also just put our contact information everywhere. So you search our car wash, you find it on Google, you can email us, call us, whatever you want, and we get back to you. So a lot of people call very angry. We get back to them in a day, we refund their money, they come back to the wash the next day. So I think the old owners were doing that. They might have not got back as fast, but people just like that when they call, they get a response, or actually somebody answers the phone. So that was a good improvement. Once we started running it, we fixed the equipment. So just calling the vendors that make the equipment, saying, hey, we're having this problem. It taught us about the equipment. So we figured out more how the car wash was run, but just made sure that the functions all operated good. So people were getting what they asked for. So ended up washing my car a lot, which is a good thing, but just making sure that the equipment actually runs. And then in operational stuff, we had a credit card processing company. We had two different credit card processors on site, one for the self-service, one for the automated. We combined those. So we got rid of one thing that was one credit card processing fees. So that saved us money on fees, which wasn't something we had planned for in the beginning. Something I look for now when I look at businesses. We were able to add credit card readers to our vacuums. So basically everything on site now, you can use a credit card. You don't need anything. So that was another improvement. With the credit card information, you can get a lot of analytics. So on my computer, I can go see how much money has been spent at the car wash with credit cards in a day, which you can kind of translate and have an estimate of what you can do with cash. So you can kind of get an overview of how busy it was. But it's also good because you can see how many people come through in a day and those types of things. So just having more analytics, more data, which is nice for us because we can see how it runs operationally, but they'll also come if we ever decide to sell it. I have so much information on what it's done since we've owned it. One of the biggest improvements we did was, besides putting in the new automated equipment in the self-service bays, if you've ever used a car wash where you go in and spray it down yourself, if you swipe it with a credit card, there's two methods. It's count up and count down. Count down, you swipe your card, it gives you 6 minutes, the time counts down, it beeps you at 1 minute. People rush to clean their car. They try to finish it in 1 minute and then they leave, and that's all they spend. So they spend the minimum credit card amount. With count up, you swipe your card and it just starts counting up until you're done, and then you have to push stop to stop charging your card. So that just, I think psychologically, people just clean their car until they're done. They don't try to race a clock because there's no beep. So that improved sales by, it didn't double what people spend, but it improved it by like $3 on how much the average person spent. And then if you multiply that by 8 to 1,200 transactions a month, it was a pretty significant increase over the year. But we also got a lot of compliments on it because people are like, "Hey, it doesn't beep at me. I can just wash my car until I'm done." So people actually like it better as well. And then just the other things we added was the equipment. So we added air dryers in our bays, which didn't see a direct return on it, but it's another feature that I think brings people back to our wash because they know they can wash their car in a bay and then use an air dryer to dry it. So it just gives them all the options. And then another thing we recently added was an ice vending machine. So something else you can go put $2 in and it gives you a fresh bag of ice.
That's
So
smart.
just another option to bring people to the site.
Yeah. Yeah, bring them in. I mean, especially during the summer and different things when you're washing your car, you're likely going to need ice anyway,
Yeah.
or if you need ice, you're like, "Hey, look, I might as well stay for a car wash."
Yeah. A lot of landscapers come by, or people going to the lake or just having a cookout or sports games or anything. So that one's taken a little bit of time with marketing just to get it out because we couldn't put it right on the street like we would want it to, but so it's taking a little bit more marketing. But so the other thing with a lot of this is like the Google My Business and that we knew we could do from the beginning, but like the count up timers, I didn't find out about that until I was digging in the forums and read, and people were like, yeah, you get like a 30-40% increase if you switch this way. And we're like, oh, wow. And that was like I think it was less than $2,000 to make that upgrade. So
Wow.
it basically paid
I love
itself
that.
back. And then like the credit card processing, we didn't really realize that until we dug in and understood it. And then we're like, okay, yeah, we can switch that. The air dryers was something we'd never thought of. The ice machine I'd never thought of. So all things that we just learned along the way that were just improvements that we hadn't planned on, which have all worked out pretty well.
What has been the cost for some of those capital improvements? You mentioned, a couple $1,000s for the count up timer. Let's go back to like air dryers and some of the bigger things, the sign,
Yeah.
and especially like that first round of rebranding, revamping. What'd that cost you?
So the Google My Business stuff was all free. The sign, I want to say it was like $500 or $600. We probably spent $800 total with putting stickers and contact information and stuff up. Changing the credit card readers was another $1,000 improvement, but probably saved that in fees, and it made the analytics a lot easier for us to look at. Air dryers, I think, were like $12,000 or $13,000. And the new automated machine was pricey. It was over 150. I don't remember the exact price. And the ice machine was like somewhere in the $30,000 to $40,000 range.
So
So
pretty much, you ballpark, you're $250,000 or less.
yes, yeah, the automated was the biggest expense, which we had to take out an additional equipment loan on that, but was worth it for the traffic that was going to generate, and then also to be able to offer a better product to our customers. So ideally, we want to keep people coming back, so we give them a better product.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the beginning improvements we were really able to do because of that CARES Act, and we didn't have to make the mortgage payment. So that really accelerated our improvements. Like we were able to go day one because we knew we had extra money, which I think just accelerated all the improvements.
That's perfect. Do you have any improvements on the horizon? Any further improvements, or just kind of
Yeah. I'm working on, if you've ever driven by a tunnel, they have the nice fancy like overhanging vacuums. They look nice. So I'm trying to figure out how we could put that on our site. I need to work with a civil engineer in the town on what they'll allow me to do, but it would require relaying out the parking lot a little bit. But ideally we could add a couple more vacuums, and then it would open up our parking lot a little bit, which would just help for traffic on busy weekends, and then give a little bit more space for people that are vacuuming and detailing their cars. So that's very in the early stages right now. I'm still trying to figure out what the cost of it would be, and the vacuums don't make as much compared to everything else, but I think the appeal of it to the site would look very good. So I think it would be worth it. And I think it would just help operation, or like help operations when it's busy. Like there'd be more room in the parking lot for people to get around, so it doesn't feel cluttered. Because I think when it's busy and there's people waiting, people don't even turn in because they can't get around. So
I was gonna say all those things. I can speak from a very picky car wash customer. All of those things make a huge difference. I now
yeah,
drive by like 7 car washes to get to the car wash I want because it has it's efficient. It has a membership. It's got the vacuums, and then
yeah,
it has the towels for me to wipe any drops that were missed. And if it's busy, I'm driving by and I'm coming back home.
yep, yeah.
Brooke is
So
your best and worst customer all wrapped into one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the most picky about car washes. I when I move places, like the first thing I do is go look for car washes and I will go try them all.
well, if you ever come visit, let me know. I'll bring you by and you can tell me what you think.
We
Perfect.
will.
I would love to. Yes. I'll be down in Charlotte soon.
Coming from
I
before
would
we wrap
love
this
to.
up, I have one question coming from someone who washes their car literally like twice a year. Is there a big seasonality difference as far as like activity at the car wash?
Yeah, you would think summer is your busy time, but really like fall and winter is the busy time. Um, and we stay pretty busy, but like you kind of notice a drop off in like June, July, August when it's really hot outside. Um, and then we've noticed more like in the fall, it'll rain a little bit more, or it's not as hot out. So people don't mind standing outside for an hour while they're washing their car or like really detailing it. And then in the winter, just like when it's heavy rain or they put salt on the road because it's cold, like they put salt down on the road, I see money. People are
Yes,
just
sir.
coming. You'll see literally the busiest days we've had are the day after they salt the road.
I love that.
Yeah, that's I think that's why car washes are so expensive in Denver because they spend all winter
Yeah,
salting the roads and spraying with mag chloride, and then we get the
yeah,
snow, and but then
yep,
it mixes in with some nice like decent days where in the middle of winter it's going to get up to 50 for a stretch of 4 or 5 days, and
yep,
the car washes are around the block.
yeah, yeah. I actually was just in Salt Lake City, and like every time I go there, I'm amazed at how many car washes there are.
Hmm.
They're everywhere.
Yep. Yep. All right, Dan, thank you so much for sticking around with us for this bonus episode. This has been awesome breaking down some of these numbers, and just the strategic tactical plan for a car wash. So, for those of you that might be just catching this bonus episode, go check out Dan's main episode, which will be right next to this one on your favorite podcasting platform. He breaks down how he transitioned from residential real estate and just the getting started with house hacking to then growing into multiple small commercial businesses, including one that he bought with $0 out of pocket. So, go check out his main episode, take a look at that, and he breaks down everything that he's done to get into small commercial businesses. And thank you guys again for listening to the RE Junkies podcast. Leave us a review and subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform, and we will catch you junkies on the next episode of the RE Junkies podcast, the only real estate show of its kind.